Well, look, we are going to be doing another run of this wonderful, wonderful Perception Hollow, but very quickly before that, we have a maze event to be finishing off. And of course, this maze event has been going on for 10 days already, but we have the beautiful dragon to get unlocking. And one thing to note is that we do have a puzzle event, and we also have a grid event coming up tomorrow. So yeah, I know that we basically only just had a puzzle event, but we will be having another puzzle event. And so you can actually see these on Ditlep if you care to take a look. For instance, the puzzle island that we've got coming up, we've got Utopia in it. We've also got all of these rewards. We have these freedom chests coming up. We've got the actual dragon itself becoming available. So we have that coming up. And then again, in Grid Island, we should be able to get around 15,000 currency free to play, but we've got Dreamland coming in that as well. So yeah, Grid Island isn't too complicated. The only thing is there's a max of 2 ways that we could possibly go, but it's more or less the same every single grid event. But those will be coming tomorrow. So just so that you're aware of what events we have coming up. But in this maze event, you know, we've gotten quite a bit of stuff, some different dragons. I don't really care for the event items anymore because we've already gotten I think the furthest that we're going to get in the collection. So all that I really care about is just getting this new beautiful dragon. And then as soon as beautiful is obtained, we can start breeding for all the beauty dragons. And now, the reason why I love these single element dragons is because then, when you do breeds for them, you don't have 2 elements as part of the breeding combination, so then we only have to worry about 1 of them. It just makes breeding in general that much easier by only having single element dragons, because as you can imagine, adding more elements to a breeding combo for no reason is going to end up giving you more possible outcomes, and that's the opposite of what we want if we want to be breeding efficiently. That said, we don't actually have tons of stuff to be breeding anymore. We've bred a good chunk of the breeding dragons. There are still quite a lot to go, but compared to, you know, say a few months ago, we have cut down on our dragons that we have to breed by a lot. And plus, as we go through with the events and everything, I'm sure we're going to end up just getting tons of dragons just from the events anyway. Like, breedables and that end up coming out in events. And that just means less that we have to breed. So that is pretty good. But let's just continue on with this beauty path. And again, if you're someone that's in Group B and you have the other dragon and you had the Stat Ignite stuff, some people actually preferred that this time around because of the Stat Ignite collection. Of course, I'm Group A, which is why I have the new dragon as part of this. And personally, just because I like getting new dragons and I really wanted these single element dragons, I will be going for this main girl for that. But, you know, with the grid event, it is very, very tempting to go for, you know, the new dragon that's coming up. But, are we actually going to make it? I guess we'll have to save up until the very end of the grid event, see how much currency we get, and then we'll go from there. It's just, you know, having to go through grid, there's not really a lot else that you can do to get extra currency apart from the other events that are ongoing, like Puzzle. Puzzle is going to give us extra currency for grid, for instance, but it's not going to be a gigantic extra amount of extra currency. So it's mostly just going to come down to resets and if we get lucky with ads. So I hope that we can get very, very lucky with our ads and guarantee the new dragon. If not, I guess we'll end up going for something else. But anyway, that is the new beautiful girl. There she is with the little flower follower right there. So again, single element beauty dragon. That is going to add to our current, what do we have? Happy, and we also have magic at the moment. Maybe we'll trade for soul at some point. But now we've got beautiful as well. So yeah, we've got a lot of them now, which is great. And now the remaining currency that we have, we can go down another path. If we can end up unlocking another dragon that we don't yet have, I would do that. But like, I think the only one that I'd have would be this guy, White Alien. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to get him with only 825 currency plus 2 more resets remaining. It seems pretty unlikely to me. So, I don't know what we're going to do. I will decide at the end exactly once I've done my calcs on the last day. But that is her. And like I said, we have Perception Hollow, and I do have a Perception Dragon that is level 55. Ideally, we would have a Perception that is E5 and not E3, but completely depends on what our luck is in this event, really. Of course, we can just save up Joker Orbs and empower him later on, but I would like to use my Joker Orbs on Mr. Corrupted Legend, ideally, and not this guy. But if we get screwed over with wizards this early like that, it's probably not going to go too hot. And plus, we've only got one more day of Hollow to go. Oh god, that is such a bad drop. Ugh, 20 common orbs. Seriously? Well, we're probably going to end up dying before 10. If we do, I'm not going to spend it yet. Really bad luck today. Okay, there is no way I'm continuing on with that one. And you know, sometimes that is just what happens. When you go to do Wizard's Hollow, you will just get screwed over like that, and that is just the way that it is. Again, we will get one more reset, so maybe I will just, you know, the first two that we've had for this Wizard's Hollow have been pretty bad. Maybe we'll try again tomorrow. And gem if we want to try, but I'm not someone to gamble in the first place. But they're always worth playing, at least, to see if you get lucky with any of your chest drops or anything. But Hollow can genuinely either be like a super, super good and nice thing, or that can happen. And that's it, you just end up wasting tons of gems. So I am not going to be wasting my gems on that. So of course, if we do have the puzzle event coming up, I will remind you that in puzzle events, you are going to need to collect quite a lot of food. So that's why I've put in the 1-day timers for my food and 12-hour food. You're also going to need your breeding dens free. You're also going to need your hatchery free. So I'm going to be fine because I've got speed ups, 12-hour speed ups for these. So we'll be able to skip that in time for the event. If not, make sure that you use your Demona and your Brood Bee Tower for this, which you'll see my Brood Bee's been used, but that's preparatory for the upcoming event. We do also have, of course, the 4th of July event that is currently on for another 2 days, so make sure that you are watching all of your ads and getting your fireworks, and by that I also mean finishing off your battles in the arena. You can see that I've been doing a few battles in the arena so far, but I have not actually gotten any fireworks, which absolutely sucks. Will we end up getting the Karma Orbs? Probably not. We'll see. I was very busy yesterday, but that is currently the other thing that is ongoing. Of course, we've got Lion's Chest as well, which we can do tons of breeding if we need to right at the end, because we've still got a day on that. But I don't know. We'll see if I can be bothered to stretch it out for the clan on the last day. But all of these things considered, I guess there isn't tons remaining. Make sure that you finish off your Divine Pass at least, and then you can get yourself a few more insignias. But the Rise of the Norn event will be coming to an end in 11 days' time. And when that happens, maybe we will get another event like this. Maybe you'll be able to get some more of these special, well, maybe not these ones, but special chests open. Maybe you'll get lucky with the next set if we get any. But also don't forget that we've got the quest for Eternal Light still ongoing, so make sure you're logging in every single day to do those. But, you know, I guess we will see what happens. You know, if you already have these legendary dragons and the Karma unlocks, then you're going to have a good time with these quests. Free gems and free legendary jokers, basically. If not, then it's going to be a little annoying having to get them from the events and such, but we will see what happens. But like I said, we do have that grid event and the puzzle event coming up. Dreamland, of course, just being the Dream single element dragon. And one thing I will say about Ditlep is you can use it to see what dragons are here in the grid event, but do not trust their map, because the maps for Ditlep are notorious for not working properly. And by that I mean if you try and draw a path, it normally doesn't calculate the cost properly. So even if you click build your route, it doesn't really work on Ditlep. This is the case for grid events and fog events mainly. If you ever click build your route and try and put a route together, you can, you know, click the tiles and draw them around. Usually they're fine. But in my experience, they just don't really work properly. And I'm saying even if you do it the right way, it has been known to just not calculate correctly at all. So keep that in mind when you're making these. Maybe it's just some bugs that people come across, but I have seen people draw up maps, and when you actually calculate it manually, they have been off by like thousands of currency. So maybe your map will end up being fine, but just be very aware. And if you haven't double checked it manually, I would say that you probably should try and check it manually if you can, because otherwise you may end up being very misled by your own map. But either way, we have this grid event coming up, and yeah, I would really like the new dragon if we can get him. So like I said, we're going to hope for some nice ad luck just to guarantee it. If not, I will see how much currency we have, and then we'll decide whether we're going to go for him or whether we're going to go for the freedom chests, because the freedom chests are going to have stuff in them. But depends on what we end up going for at the end of the day. But regardless, thank you for joining me. Good luck. I hope you got the dragons that you wanted out of this maze event, because again, make sure you spend your currency now since we are on the final day of Midsummer Maze. And I do hope that you managed to get everything out of this collection. You'll see that I got everything but the Phoenix perk part. So I'm not feeling too bad considering I wasn't even really going for this collection. I am fine with missing out on this part of the collection. Everything else was just like nice little bonus stuff, basically. But for now, ciao.